Hi, I'm Reid Kirchenbauer with InvestAsian.com, and you're watching Nomad Capitalist. Practically anywhere in the Western world, when you want to go out and buy property, the first thing you'll do is go find a real estate agent, and that's not necessarily how things work here in developing Asia. Here, I'll tell you why. Now, if you're going to a place like Singapore or even Malaysia, which are in Malaysia's case, a fairly developed country, in Singapore's case, an extremely developed country, places like that, you might want to go look for a realtor. The market is very similar to what you would find in any other developed country. However, when you're looking for property in frontier markets, Cambodia, the Philippines, even Thailand, even though Thailand isn't a frontier market, realtors aren't necessarily how things are done, at least for the locals. Now, of course, realtors exist in Thailand and Cambodia, but largely they're there to offer Western clients a service. They're there to help with the translation, the legal work, and the transferring of the title of the property simply because they are working with people who are not from here. They're working with people who don't speak the language and are not used to how things are done. And that's all fine. If you're here and you don't speak Khmer, then you don't speak Khmer. There's not really anything you can do about it. But keep in mind several things. They aren't going to show you a complete list of properties in the city. The fact is that whenever a local sells a property, what they do is usually, in 90% of cases, they simply hang a sign outside their window that says "for sale" in Khmer script. And you can call that number and you can talk to them and you can see what the deal is. Now, these people, the reason they do that, whether it's a good idea on their part or not, whether it's a good financial decision or will ever help them sell the property quicker, they don't want to work with a realtor simply because they might not want to pay the 2 or 3% commission, sales commission that a realtor will charge. At least in Cambodia, the seller pays all commissions. That may vary depending on the country you're buying property in, but the seller's properties, they might not want to work for a realtor for that reason. And because of that, you might be seeing 10 or 20% of the market composed of the people who want to work with realtors. Secondly, and there are trustworthy realtors everywhere. There are trustworthy realtors in Cambodia and everywhere. But keep in mind that it's very well in a realtor's best interest to sell a property for as much as they possibly can. If they're selling a property for $500,000 and taking 3% on it, that's a lot better than selling it for $300,000 and taking 3% on it for their part. So if you are buying through a realtor, keep in mind that they may or may not do so, but it's certainly in their interest to try and make sure that the seller gets as much for the property as they possibly can. Granted, if you don't speak the language, you don't really have an option. I mean, what are you going to do? Negotiate with the seller in Khmer? So again, realtors are here in Cambodia as well as many other frontier markets. Some of them are good, some of them aren't, but you should be aware of what you're getting yourself into and be aware that what is best for you as a foreign investor who is not familiar with the local market, what you're used to may not necessarily be the best way to go about things and is certainly not how a local would go about things. So how do you buy properties in Cambodia and find a great deal? Well, you go around and you drive around on a motorcycle. You take note of any for sale signs you see in the window. You write them down, you call them up, you try and negotiate with them. Maybe they're completely unreasonable and are asking a price that they'll never find a buyer for. Maybe you'll find a great deal that way. I've certainly found more than a few deals that way. And yes, that's how things work in Cambodia, depending on what market you're in, and what you're doing, your experiences, and what exactly you'll need to do to buy property here will vary. But in Cambodia, at least, riding around on a motorcycle and taking note is how it's done. Word of mouth is also very important, but keep in mind that while you may be used to realtors in your home country, and your first thought would be, oh, I'm going to go out and get a realtor and look for a property, that's simply not how it's done here, at least if you're a local and are looking for local prices.
How can Nomad Capitalist help you? 4 ways. Number 1, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to make sure you get our new video every day. Number 2, get a copy of Nomad Capitalist, the book. You'll learn a lot of my personal experiences over a dozen years of studying this stuff, as well as exactly some of the strategies that you can use to build your Nomad Capitalist plan. Number 3, if you're not sure where to start, but you want to come and learn from my team and I, you want to come and mingle with like-minded people, learn more about our live conference, Nomad Capitalist Live. It's coming up soon. And number 4, if you want some help right now because you've got a burning issue, you need something solved, you want to lower your taxes, get a second passport, or build the Nomad Capitalist lifestyle of your dreams, go to nomadcapitalist.com and click on Become a Client.